Hello everyone, welcome back to our Plante. In today's lecture, we'll learn all about the flower, its sepals, petals, calyx, corolla, andreaceum, gynaeaceum, and floral formulas, in a simple and easy to understand way. So let's begin. Airstrip bipetalous, while the second one is gamosepalous. Such an arrangement is termed as diplostaminous. In many flowers, the stamens adhere to the petals, perianth, or carpels. Such conditions are known as X. Epipetalous, stamens fused to petals, example in potato and ipomia. Epiphyllous, stamens fused to perianth, example in asphodelus. Gynandrous, stamens fused with the gynaeaceum, example in calotropis. The stamens may occur singly, or their filaments may be united with each other to form varying member of angles. The following 5 conditions are usually cognized. 1. Monodelphous. Stamens united by their filaments into a single group, as in malva, Althea rosea, cotton. 2. Diadelphous. Stamens united by their filaments into 2 groups, as in pea. 3. Polyadelphous. Stamens united by their filaments into many groups, e.g. in citrus and castor oil. 4. Syngenesis. Stamens united by their anthers, the filaments are free, as in sunflower. Sonchus, compositae. 5. Gynandrous. Stamens united by both the filaments and the anthers, as in gourds. Epipetalous, monodelphous, diadelphous, polyadelphous, syngenesis, and gynandrous. It is the 4th whorl of the flower, consisting of carpels, and occupies the center of thalamus. It is modified leaf that bears megaspores. Carpel, a modified leaf. The carpel is usually composed of 3 parts, ovary, style, and stigma, and is considered as a folded foliage leaf, the 2 edges of which meet and fuse together. The line of union is called ventral suture, while the line corresponding to the midrib of the leaf is called the dorsal suture. It may consist of 1 carpel and is known as simple pistil or monocarpellary, or it may be made up of 2 or more carpels and is known as compound pistil or polycarpellary. In a compound pistil, the carpels may occur separately. Such compound pistil is called apocarpus. Apo, free, carpus ovary, as in buttercup, or the carpels may be fused with each other, and such compound pistil is called syncarpus, syn united, as in citrus. If a compound pistil is formed of 2 carpels, it is termed as bicarpellary, free, in calotropis, united in brassica, and if 3 carpels form a compound pistil, it is called tricarpellary, free aconitum, united euphorbia. Apocarpus compound pistil. The following 3 stages of union of carpels are observed in different plants. I. Ovaries united forming a compound ovary, but the styles and stigmas are free. Example, in malva, cotton. D. The ovaries and styles are united, but the stigmas are free, as in sunflower. E. The ovaries, styles and stigmas all are united, as in cinna. In a syncarpus pistil, the number of carpels can be determined by counting the I. Number of stigmas or stigmatic lobes. 2. Number of styles. 3. Number of lobes of ovary. 4. Number of placentas in an ovary. 5. Number of groups of ovules in the ovary. Style. From the base of the ovary, an elongated stalk-like portion of the carpel arise, which is known as style. In some flowers, the style is very short or absent, whereas in others it is long. It may be branched or unbranched. When unbranched, its tip generally forms stigma. If the style arises from the tip of the ovary, it is termed as terminal or apical, as in brachis. Sometimes it arises from the side of the ovary and is known as lateral, as in strawberry. In some cases, it arises in between the lobes of the ovary from its base, as in ocimum and salvia. This type of style is called gynobasic. In canna, the style is flattened and coloured like petals. This type of style is known as petaloid. Stigma. This apical portion of the style is stigma. The stigma is generally rounded and knob-like. Such stigma is called capitate. In certain cases, it is branched. The number of branches indicate the number of carpels. The stigma may be bifid or trifid. The bifid stigma indicates the presence of 2 carpels, as in sunflower. In grasses, the stigma is feathery, whereas in some other cases, it is long and narrow and is called linear. Ovary. The basal swollen portion of carpel is called an ovary. The ovary is formed by the union of margins of 1 or more carpels. The ovary contains 1 or more little rounded or oval egg-like bodies, which are the rudiments of seeds, called ovules or integumental megasporangia. Each ovule has a megaspore, which enlarge into an embryo sac. The ovules are attached to the wall of the ovary through placenta, a tissue. The placenta usually develop on the margins of the carpels or at their base or apex. The ovary has either a single chamber or is divided into varying number of chambers. These chambers are called locules or loculi. Generally, each carpel has its own locule, and a compound pistil shows as many locules as the members of carpel. The number of locules in some cases provide erroneous information, as some additional septa, clad false septa, are formed. In other cases, a compound ovary may have a single loculus. Placentation. The manner in which the placentae are distributed in the ovary is called placentation, and it is helpful in classification. Types of placentation. In a simple ovary, formed of 1 carpel, there is only 1 type of placentation, marginal. The ovary is single-chambered, and the ovules are attached to the placentae that develop along ventral suture, i.e., along the fused margins of the carpel, i.e., ventral surface, as in pea, gram, bean, cassia. In compound ovaries, the placentation may be parietal, axial, free central, basal, or superficial. Parietal. The ovary is compound and unilocular. The margins of the carpels swell up to form placentae, as is found in cucumber, melon, brassica, etc. The gynoecium is polycarpellary and syncarpous. The fused margins of the carpels run inwards and meet in the center of the ovary. The ovary becomes multilocular, and the marginal placentae of all the carpels fuse in the center to form a central or axial column to which the ovules are attached. The number of loculi indicate the number of carpels. For example, potato, 2 loculi, euphorbia, 6 loculi. Free central. The ovary is compound and unilocular. The ovules are borne on a central axis arising from the base of the ovary and not on the fused margins of the carpels, as in Dianthus, primrose, primulaceous. Basal. The ovary is unilocular and the placenta develops directly on thalamus, and a single ovule is attached to the placenta at the base of the ovary, as in sunflower. Superficial. The ovules are present all over the inner surface of the ovary, which may be syncarpous, as in water lily, or apocarpous, as in the flowering rush. Vertical section. A vertical section of a flower refers to its having been cut vertically in a median plane. It furnishes the following information. I. It depicts the shape and relative size of the floral parts. 2. It provides an idea about insertion of floral parts on the thalamus. 3. It provides information about fixation of anthers, position of nectarines, and placentation in vertical plane. Floral formula. A floral formula is short symbolic representation of the various features of a flower. It furnishes information about symmetry of flower, whether flower is actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Sexuality of flower, i.e., whether the flower is bisexual or unisexual. 3. About the number and state of floral parts, e.g., free or united. 4. Regarding inferior and superior nature of ovary. 5. About presence of epicalyx and epipetalous nature of stamens. P. The various symbols used in floral formulas are as under. 1. Sex of the flower. Bisexual, pi. Unisexual, male, female. 2. Symmetry of flower. Actinomorphic, zygomorphic. Condition of sepals, calyx, polysepalous, gammosepalous. Corolla, polypetalous, gammapetalous, gammophyllous. P. Number. Androecium. R. Number. Ca. 7. Number and condition of carpels. Gynosium, apocarpus. Gynosium superior. Gynosium inferior. G. Number. G/epicalyx, if present, is represented by the letter epi K and is mentioned before K. The fused nature of floral parts is shown by enclosing the numbers in the brackets, e.g., K5 indicates calyx comprising of 5 fused sepals. If sepals, petals, and stamens are present in 2 whorls, then the number of constituent parts in outer whorl is mentioned first, and then the sign of plus is put before mentioning the number of constituent parts comprising the second whorl. For example, suppose calyx consists for 4 sepals, of which 2 are present in inner whorl. Then, in floral formula, such a condition is represented as K2 plus 2. Superior nature of the ovary is indicated by putting a small straight line above the number of carpels, e.g., 3. The inferior nature of the ovary is indicated by putting a small straight line below the number of carpels, e.g., G3. In brassica, flower, actinomorphic, bisexual, calyx, 4, free, in 2 whorls of 2 each. Corolla, 4, 3. Androecium, polyandrous, tetradynamus. Gynosium, bicarpellary, syncarpus, superior ovary. The floral formula of such a flower will be as follows. Female, pi, K2 plus 2, A2 plus 4, G2. Floral diagram. A ground plan showing the relation of floral leaves to each other and to the mother axis is called a floral diagram. It explains the number and positional arrangement of the floral leaves in one view. The axis on which the flower is borne is known as the mother axis. The side of the flower towards mother axis is posterior, and that towards the bract, or away from mother axis, anterior. A line drawn across the flower, passing through mother axis and the center of the flower, indicates the antero-posterior or median plane. A line at right angles to this, also passing through the center of the flower, indicates the lateral plane. The planes which bisect the angles formed by the median and lateral planes are called diagonal planes, while all other planes are said to be oblique. The mother axis is indicated by a dot or a small circle, in the antero-posterior plane above the diagram. No dot is shown in case of a terminal flower. The sepal or petal lying just opposite the mother axis is the odd sepal or odd petal. The floral leaves usually alternate with one another. If a sepal is odd, the mother axis will be lying between the two petals. Beginning with the odd sepal or odd petal, the exact number of sepals and petals are represented by brackets, which are broader in the middle and taper towards the end. The sepals are shown in outer circle and the petals in the inner. Gamosepalous and gamopetalous condition is shown by linking the ends of the brackets. The stamens are indicated by small kidney-shaped figures. If the androecium is epipetalous, the stamen figures are linked by radial lines to the petal brackets. If the stamens are united, the stamen figures are connected with each other by an arc or circle. If there are two or more alternating whorls of stamens, their number and position is indicated accordingly. The gynoecium is shown in the center of the diagram in transverse section. The ovary is drawn in double line, and the number of carpels is indicated by as many constrictions. The septa are shown by radial lines meeting in the center, and the ovules are represented by small, rounded figures attached to the placentas. Homologies: carpel megasporophyll, ovule megasporangium, embryo sac female gametophyte, egg female gamete, stamen microsporophyll, anther microsporangium, pollen grain microspore, germinating pollen grain male gametophyte, ovule seed, funicle stalk, integuments. Seed coat: hilum raphi, chalaza and micropyle, embryo sac, egg cell, embryo, endosperm nucleus, endosperm, synogids disintegrate, antipodal cells disintegrate, flower a modified shoot. The following facts may be cited to prove that the thalamus is a modified branch. Sepals, petals, stamens and carpels are modified vegetative leaves, and the flower as whole a modified leaf bud. The floral axis, or the thalamus, is normally exceedingly short, but in some flowers, as in passionflower, capparis, etc., the thalamus becomes elongated, and then, like the branch, it shows distinct nodes and internodes. Rose, larkspur, also, sometimes show monstrous development of the thalamus, i.e., after bearing the floral members, the thalamus prolongs upwards and bears ordinary foliage leaves. Sometime in pair also, the thalamus elongates, passes through the flower, and ultimately bears green leaves. The thalamus thus behaves as a branch. A. Rose, showing monstrous development of the thalamus. B. Water lily flower, showing transition of floral parts. The leaf bud is normally axillary or terminal in position. The flower bud occupies the same position. The leaf bud when the flowering season comes. The arrangement of sepals, petals, etc. on the thalamus is the same as that of leaves on the stem or the branch, or in other words, the floral phyllotaxy follows the law of phyllotaxy of foliage leaves. Although most flowers show a whorled phyllotaxy, an alternate arrangement is met within the flowers of water lily, cactus, etc. Sepals, petals, etc. always arise from the nodes of the thalamus, just as the leaves do from the nodes of the stem or the branch, and they remain rolled or folded in the same way in the flower bud as the vegetative leaves in the leaf bud. Even their arrangement with respect to each other, estivation, is the same as that of the foliage leaves, prefoliation. Moreover, like the young leaves of the leaf bud, floral leaves of the flower bud open in strict acropetal succession. The foliar nature of the floral members can be made out from the fact that they show peculiar modifications with transitional stages in many cases. Sepals are mostly green in color and look like leaves. In fact, one of the sepals becomes modified into a white or colored leaf. Petals, although colored, also show some resemblance to leaves. In fact, in green rose and in some cases of larkspur, petals are green in color. But stamens and carpels are unlike leaves in all respects. Their homology with leaves can be made out from certain flowers. Thus, water lily shows a gradual transition from sepals to petals, and from petals to stamens. The cultivated roses show many petals, while in wild rose there are only 5 petals. The explanation is that many stamens have gradually become modified into petals in cultivated rose. In certain varieties of Java or China rose and other roses, some or many of the stamens have passed into petals. In Canna, the stamens and the style have become petaloid. In some garden plants, e.g. in clitoral, Cape jasmine, etc., a doubling of petals is often met with. This may be due to modification of some of the stamens into petals, and thus it is seen among the seasonal flowers, as sometimes in zinnia, that some of the stamens and carpels become modified into distinct petals. The inflorescence axis normally bears flowers. Sometimes, as in aloe, some of the flower buds become modified into leaf buds, called bulbils, for vegetative reproduction. In Gaillardia, now and then, some of the flowers of the inflorescence are modified into leafy branches. In pineapple, the inflorescence axis ends in one or more buds for vegetative propagation of the plant. These organs thus show a reversion to ancestral forms, i.e., the forms from which they had been derived. Musa enda flower with a sepal modified into leaf. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more easy biology lectures. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next class.